Hey everybody, my name is Vanessa. I'm the owner and CEO of Goofy Loopy's Gift Shop. I have taken on a go big or go home, I guess is what I've kind of been saying to myself, quilt project for myself. I have never really made a quilt before, and I have got obsessed. So I got this book, Farm Girl Vintage #2 by Holt, and I love bees and beehives and that little vibe. So I found the pattern in this book, and if you don't have this book, I would suggest you get it. And let me tell you why. Because you're going to pay $10 for patterns. Or more. Sometimes you can get them less than that, but you're going to pay that kind of money for some patterns. And this book right here has so many different things you could do, and I would suggest that if you wanted to do a lot of, you can use all these patterns in here in different ways, and that's why I would suggest it. Now, I don't get paid to advertise this. I don't make any money or commission, and I don't have a coupon code, so I'm sorry about all that. But again, here's the front. Now all of those are in here, and there are other suggestions as far as not just that quilt, but other things to do with those patterns, and that's what's so cool about it. But look, this is the beehive I'm going to do. And I am going to also, let's see if I can find the picture. All right, so you see this? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this quilt. Now, I'm not using Holt fabric. I would absolutely love to, but I've got so much fabric. Look behind me. You see all these bins? All these bins are full of fabric, because I do applique embroidery as well. So I have tons and tons of fabric. And so I'm just going to use what I have. So I'm super excited. I am so excited to do this, but I'm going to tell you, I've never done a quilt. I did a jelly roll quilt one time, and that was fun, but that was a quick project, and it didn't really take a lot of effort to do it. So that's, that was a beginner for me. That was pretty cool. However, again, I like bees and beehives and stuff like that. And when I saw that quilt in this book, I fell in love and told myself, I'm going to have to make this quilt. Now, this quilt, when it is finished, is probably going to be about, I guess, around 80 inches. 80 by 90 or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to try to synchronize it down a little bit, but I have not made up my decision as far as that. I do know that the beehive, if I go with the pattern that I'm doing, is 20 12 by 12 beehives. And then the other ones that I showed you with the flowers and everything, well, that one didn't show the flowers very well. Hold on one second. Right here. So right here is a better picture of it. You see the flowers and the bee and everything? Well, that is 6 inch. So each one of those little pieces are 6 inch squares, and then you put 4 of them together or space it out 2 by 2, and you come up with 12. So, or yeah, I think 12 and a half, something like that. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. And so let me just tell you a few things that I'm going to use. And then also, I did not, if you look, let me see here. Well, the pattern calls for, and I'm not going to show you the pattern because it's not mine to be showing as far as the sizes and things like that. And but I will tell you the pattern for the beehive, and I don't have my page mark, my goodness. The pattern for the beehive is, there are 6 rows for the beehive itself, right here. So if you look at this one, So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then you got your background. Well, if you take note, they skip every other row for the fabric that they're using. Well, your girl didn't want to do that. I wanted all the rows to be different. I didn't want them all to be alternating. So that was a challenge within itself. Just so you know, this is probably the fifth page of trying to figure out. So what I did was I picked out 10 yellow fabrics to go for the beehive. And then I had to figure out how to manipulate them so that they were not repeating, that I didn't have 2 blocks that were the same. If you're not worried about that kind of thing, then go for it. I didn't think I was going to be worried about it. I thought this is going to be easy peasy. I'll just pick out a bunch of different fabric. I'll sew it all together. We'll go with it. No, I didn't want to do that. I was like, oh, but what if this one's beside that one? Or what if that? So anyway, I said if there's 20 of these blocks, I can use the same fabric twice, okay? But I didn't want the fabrics to be twice with the same block. So that's my configuration. This is the one I'm going with out of 10 fabrics. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of reverse it a little bit for the next 10. And then at the end of the day, if there's 2 that are just like, you know, it's just going to be what it's going to be. Because I spent days, well, I'm not going to say days. I spent many hours trying to figure out the system that I wanted for my numbers. But anyhow, let me, what you will need, a rotary cutter. I like, for smaller pieces, a 2.5-inch ruler. And for medium size, I use this 6 by 12. It's a 6.5 by 12. And then I use a 12 by 12, or actually 12.5 by 12.5 for some pieces. So those are the rulers that I used. I used, again, my rotary cutter. I've used, I don't know where my scissors went. Hold on. I have my shears, my fabric shears. And again, all the fabric now. I've got my fabric picked out and in order for 10 blocks. So then I'll have to do all of it again for the next 10, which is fine. But let me show you some of the fabrics. Now, if you don't like small pieces, there are some 1-inch by 1-inch blocks in here. There's some 1.5 by 1.5. So just so you know that there are some small pieces in here. But let me show you some of this fabric. These are some of the yellows that I picked out. Look at that. For the beehive. More yellow. Like I said, I wanted all different kinds. And I used, most of this is from my stash. I did go and buy some simply because I wanted some fabric for another project. Now some of this fabric, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know where all of this fabric came from because again, it's been, you know, in my stash and stuff, but I do have fabric that I bought from Hobby Lobby. So let's see, I didn't use that one, but I've got this one and this one. So those are the yellows. Now on row 6, if you remember looking at the book, it shows a door. So I picked several different fabrics for the door. I'm just going to show you this whole tray because I didn't want all my doors to be the same. I am a girl of color. If you take hint to my shirt, okay, I love color. I love a variation, but let me show you the background. I was so excited about this. I wanted to do, I have to have patterns on almost everything. So I did not want to do a standard white background. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I found this. Is this not the cutest? Now it is really pretty. Let me show you one of the blocks I've already done. This is one of the number 6 blocks. Okay. That is number 6. I don't have anything with the background fabric done yet, but anyway, isn't that really pretty? So instead of the basic white or white on white, I was going to do white on white, but then when I found this, I was like, no, 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 this is the one. So that is my background. Again, I showed you the door, so those are all different. Oh, and on there there's a heart. In 2 of the blocks you have to make put together a heart. So these are the red fabrics that I chose. Again, you can use all the same fabric, but I had to be special. But I did narrow down to just 4. So the pattern, there are going to be some that are going to be duplicates, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But you can totally use as many as you want to. But look, there's that one and that one. And those are going to be all the pieces that make the heart that's on the in rows 3 and 4. Let me show you my first finished block. Okay, look at that. Now you can see that background fabric. You can see also that it's not perfect right here. It is not perfect. It's not lined up perfect, which, you know what, I'm fine with that. I'm not selling it. It's mine. But anyway, that's what the block will look like. And so what I'll do is I'll keep you updated as I'm doing the blocks. I will show you that, and I will show you when I get ready to do the bumblebees. Now I've already cut out my fabric for the bumblebees on the 6-inch squares, and look. So this will be the body and the yellow and the wings. So all of that, so cute. That's going to be all. Now I did use, I think I used, trying to look at my material over there. I think I did mix it up a little bit, but not a lot. I pretty much just said, you know, let the bees be what they are. But again, the flowers, they will be a little different too, because I picked out a bunch of different fabrics for the flowers and for the stems. But this is going to be a huge quilt. It is going to be a very big challenge, but I'm excited. Oh, and you'll need, of all things, you'll need your sewing machine and your thread and extra needles in case you mess something up, and your iron, because you're going to want to iron this. You may even need starch because you might want to do some starching. I did not, and I wished I had starched everything before I cut it. That is a personal preference. Again, this is my first time. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of TikTok videos, and so hopefully I will learn something. I'm excited about that. And you'll need a pencil or a friction pen, because on your small pieces, or when you have to do the corners, like right here, that's a small piece and you have to do a corner, so you're going to have to mark the back of that so that when you go to sew it, it's a straight line. Woo. Now that's just everything for the topping so far. That's not including the batting and the background, the back of the quilt, because I don't know what that's going to be yet. But yeah, that's where we are with that. I got a sticky that goes somewhere. I'm gonna have to figure out where that goes. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I hope you will come back and look at the rest of the videos. I am super excited to bring that. Again, I do not get commission. I do not have a coupon, whatever, you know, but this is the Lori Holt's. You should get this book. I got it from Amazon, and they also have the vintage one, and her stuff, I mean, it's just really, really pretty, really, really nice. I don't have the fabric, but hopefully in the future, if I do some more projects, which I plan to do, hopefully I can get some of her fabric. But she's on YouTube as well. She has tutorials. There are other people that are on YouTube that show her products as well, as far as how to do them. So I'm not the only one. I don't know that there's anybody else that's done the Beehive or the Beehive quilt with the bumblebees and so forth. So anyway, this is just my take. Most reason why is so I can go back and look at myself and say, what did I do? I don't remember how I did this, or I don't remember how I did that. And I'm hoping somewhere in the long run, maybe it helps somebody else out, because all the videos that I have found that have helped me, I am so grateful for. I couldn't have done it without videos of people showing and showcasing, you know, how to do it and what they did and the shortcuts and the, you know, the little tips and stuff. I've got right many tips that I've learned, and it's like all the years I've been sewing, I didn't know that, so I've learned a lot, and that's my goal. You know, learn something every day. That's what we need to do, is learn something every day. So anyway, here you go. We will get back together. I'll show you as I do the blocks. I'm working on the block for the Beehive line or row number 6, and I will go through and do a tutorial on how I did that. I've done all of them except for one, and I'm going to do the tutorial on that one. So anyway, check back with me later. I'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a wonderful, good day. Go out there and make somebody smile and be a blessing. God bless.